just go ahead and get started like I mentioned. First thing I want to talk about is it feels like over the last few months, everybody's excited to get back to doing face. I'm sorry, I have my family's being noisy in the background. So we will not be doing face-to-face classes until it is announced. And so you might see that the state's opening up more. You might hear that extension might be back to their offices, which we're starting to come up with plans that have to be in place. But all of this is not something we're doing yet. We will let you know when you're allowed to go back to do face-to-face. And then the contact tracker, Amalia has ready and will share, and Lacey will share a document later on too that will assist us in moving things forward. My next agenda item is a team. So we're a team. We all work together to create better health to help people. And we are so appreciative of the work that you've been doing. It's been really insightful for us to see how you've just dug in and started teaching in a way that is not comfortable. But you're doing awesome work at that, and we want to appreciate all of you that have dug in to do that. It's fun to watch your videos, and it's fun to watch how I'm sure if you went back, which I don't know if I could do this on myself, but if you went back and looked at the first one and saw how you did until where you are today, you've improved significantly as well, and so we appreciate that. We also want to remind you that we are trying to continue programming, moving things forward the best we can in this new arena, and appreciate you jumping in to do that. It's a time where people start to get discouraged a couple months in on how things are, or you might be discouraged with not being able to see your family or go out and do the things that you want to do, but you are all doing really great work, and so keep it up. And I don't even know what some of my agenda items say, so I'm sorry about that. It says police manual. It's probably supposed to say policy manual, but if you want to see what evidence of work is required, it is in the policy manual. And Casey and I are in the middle of reviewing and writing additional pieces to our grant for the next year. And even with our moving to online, we are still doing the work that we needed to do that was written in our grant. And so it was quite an easy transition to take care of things during this time. And the other thing I want to mention is we've also heard along the way that people are overwhelmed with what's on social media, but through new studies and new research, people, that's where they're going, obviously, because that's where they have been going to find educational resources and materials. And the new research and studies have shown that people actually really like it there. So good job, keep it up. And moving over to Casey.
Good morning, everyone. Let me just pull this up. So I've had a few people reach out, and we finally came to some decisions about how to report your Facebook reach for your online classes specifically. So what we're going to have to do is, for those of you who have online Facebook classes that do not have any survey response, there'll be two different ways to go depending on whether you got survey responses. We have to show to FNS a reasonable way to assess if people watched your classes for a considerable amount of time, and the only way we really can do that is through those that that completed the surveys. So I guess I'll start with that first. So for those of you who have Facebook online classes that have survey responses, in the next little while, you will use those survey responses to fill out the demographics of that program activity entry. And at that point, you can mark it as complete, because if you've tried to mark it as complete, but you have that demographic section empty, it won't let you do that. And we also don't feel comfortable just using like impressions or views or some of the analytics that Facebook gives us, because a lot of those numbers just capture people who could have simply scrolled past your video or watched it just for a few seconds. So we don't want to count those as people actually reached it with education from your video. So we certainly realize this is not a perfect system, but it's the way we're going to move forward, at least for this year. I'll send out detailed instructions on how to do that. I'm still trying to figure out the most efficient way for you to get the demographic from the surveys that were attached to your program activities. There's a couple of different features and pairs that I'm playing around with, so that it's a pretty easy move for you. So those instructions are not quite ready yet, but as soon as they are, we'll send them out. For those of you who have program activity entries but have not gotten any survey responses, we're going to need you to move those to an indirect activity. We have detailed instructions on how to do that. We're going to ask you, though, not to do that right now, because we think it would be smart to reshare your videos, because those survey links will still be open, and even if people can't watch them live, we might as well try resending them and see if you can get some survey responses so you can get some people reached with your program activity. So again, we encourage you to reshare them, or if you are doing a live class, you can encourage people to visit your Facebook page and tell them how they could find videos you've already recorded. And you don't want to go in and move those to indirect, because you need those to stay open for that survey link to remain active. So that's what we're going to suggest you start closing out and moving things after August 15th. That would give you 6 or 7 weeks before the end of our fiscal year to get them all wrapped up, which should be plenty of time. So I would say don't do it yet. If you're really anxious to do it, at least wait until these detailed instructions come out, because we want them entered in a really consistent manner so that when we're reporting out year end, we can do that. What questions do you have about that?
I have a question, Casey. So would you like us to focus on reposting old videos as opposed to making new ones for our weekly hours?
Well, it's a nice option if you are, everyone should be slightly cutting back their hours. So if you are struggling to get all of your work done, then that would be a great option. If you still have time with your 2 to 3 hours less a week to do a new online class and you feel like you're reaching people with your videos, then I'd say go ahead and make some new ones. If the budget cuts and not being able to buy supplies is a concern, then resharing videos is a good option for that. So it just kind of depends. I think another thing to remember is we really want to be, we're working because we want to be reaching our participants. So if you feel like your online classes are not a great way to reach participants, then I would say focus your efforts on something else. But if you feel like you've got a good audience, then you could go ahead and do new ones.
Okay, yeah, that's helpful. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Casey, this is
And
Mariana.
again, don't start moving those until you get the instructions, and I'll try to have those out by the end of this week.
Casey, this is Mariana. With the classes I did for school teachers that did the Google Drive, and I put the videos in those, and they gave me the actual numbers that report back to them. Do I still count them even though there's no survey?
Yeah, because that's for youth, so youth won't have surveys, so that's fine, and you can close that out. The harder thing, I mean, you could save a program activity without a survey included, but you can't close it without those demographics filled out. So that's really the key in them, is having the accurate enough information to fill out those demographics. So kind of regardless of how you've obtained that information, if you have that information, it can stay as a program activity. Good question. Okay, and then my other item is just, we've seen a very sharp decrease in the success stories, which we understand. But remember, you can look for success stories in other ways. Maybe it's a comment from a Facebook page, or a new partnership that you developed, or a conversation you had with the pantry manager as you're doing your food pantry surveys. All of those things make great success stories, even if they're just not in the traditional sense of someone telling you of a behavior change. So we are still asking you to have one per month. So get in there and add what you have from the past 3 months. And I would say, even if you're questioning if it's something we'll use, we can determine that. If you think it was a success and you think it's something that's moving our program forward or helping someone make a positive behavior change, go ahead and put it in there, and then we can assess how it's best to be used. And that's all I have.
I actually have one more question, Casey.
Sure.
So we've had some private classes, like for specific places, like a library or something like that.
Mhm.
And so you can see like how many people are viewing your video. And there have been some people that consistently view the video like the whole time, or like almost the whole time, and yet they still don't fill out the survey. Would those still be ones that we would end up counting as an indirect activity?
Do you have some of the pieces you would need are, can you tell gender and
No.
No,
You can
yeah.
just see how many people are viewing the video.
Yeah, let me think about that. So definitely keep those numbers, and let me think about the best way to do that, because it does seem like you should be able to count those because you know that they were on.
Okay.
And you can put estimate in for male, female, and we can look at, some things. So keep those numbers, but I'll get back to you on that.
Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, because I've just put it as I didn't know. Like there's an unknown category.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Awesome, thank you.
Yeah.
Also, Rachel, is it someone that you're seeing that's coming to multiple classes, did you say?
I don't even have a way to know if it's the same person, but I can just tell by the number of how many people are watching and when they hop on the video that they stay on. Like it stays consistent. And usually you can tell if someone hops on and then hops off again, because the number will go up and down. But I've guessed if it stayed like consistently, like 2 people were watching throughout a majority of the video, I assumed it was the same person, which I guess I can't even do now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hard.
Is there a way you see their names?
No, you just see the number of people that are watching the Facebook video live.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to kind of think about that one. Are you just using like Facebook views?
So we can see those after, but then usually, so when you're recording the Facebook Live video, it'll have a little red box in the left corner that shows you how many people are watching live.
Okay.
And so those can be different from how many people view the video.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we'll be in touch with you specifically about that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, yeah. All right, Heidi had to hop on another call, so I'm just going to move us through the agenda. Lacey.
Yeah, and I think just kind of a comfort to everyone, this idea of direct and online is a challenge nationwide. I was on a call, and I guess California is starting to call it indirect plus. So, you know, we do recognize that you're doing more efforts than what typical indirect would require, and it's just a sign of the times.
Yeah, and I think along those lines, Lacey, when you capture it as an indirect activity, we're capturing them as classes. So it won't just be wrapped into your regular Facebook page. So we'll be able to discern that it was a class and that it does carry more weight.
Awesome. That it's indirect plus. I had 2 items. We talked about a couple weeks ago about having a survey, and that's nearly finalized. So Probably the link will be included in the scoop this week. If not, I can send it out next week. But it's just a survey to see kind of what your PSE plans are, since that is something that, you know, we're definitely not doing our face-to-face teaching right now, but there are some opportunities with by following specific guidelines and receiving permission from Heidi and Casey that we can do some work outside of the home. And so this is just a way for us to gather what your plans are, so we have a good idea of what you're hoping to do, and then, you know, on a case-by-case basis, we can determine if your plans will work under the current circumstances and requirements of USU. And for that, when we send it out, just so you know, we would like every ambassador to fill one out. However, if there are multiple ambassadors in your county, there is an option to select that another ambassador is going to fill out the plan portion. But there's just a section that everyone needs to fill out that's just you stating, you know, who you are, which county you're in, and then also that you're willing to track your contacts with others, because we just want to have a record of that. And then I also created a decision tree, and I'll share that with you all. This was in response to a county that was really having a lot of challenges on being able to do buy produce for your neighbor, and we realized that it really just wasn't going to be a good fit this year due to the circumstances of COVID-19. And so in order to help you all kind of decide if buy produce for your neighbor would be a good fit or not, this is just a sort of process of answering questions that can take you to either you need to just continue doing CBH tasks that can be done from home, consider other PSE efforts instead of buy produce for your neighbor for your county, or that you likely can implement it in your county. And this is something that we'll also include in the scoop. And I think we may make a couple more of these for some certain projects, just to help you all in that decision-making process, realizing that each county's situations are different. Each, you know, pantry that you're working with may have different circumstances, farmers markets, stores, just all the things that there's just so many factors that go into implementing PSE. This might just help you with that planning process.
Great. Any questions for Lacey?
I just wanted to say that that's an awesome flow chart.
It's like a maze. So
Yeah, it looks like a game. I want to play.
I told
And
her
if you actually get to the bottom where you can implement the program, you win.
I told her to make one on face to face, and it would all be like, no, you can't do face to face.
All the answers
all
point to
arrows
no.
point to no. So yes, that was a little bit of a timely process, but now that I got it down, we can do this for a few more.
And don't be discouraged by this. They can be easy things to overcome or to just get in place, but. Okay, Heidi, do you want to take back over? We're just at Jocelyn, or?
Sure. Why don't we just have each person just hop on as soon as the other one's done? That'd be great.
Okay. I do not have a flow chart, but I will point to things. First of all, we are in need of ambassadors in action photos, and now's a good time to do it because you're all stuck at home. So if you will remember to take pictures of yourselves doing any of the Create Better Health concepts, washing hands, working in the garden, planning anything, playing with your children, being physically active, going for walks, preparing food. Anyway, menu planning, anything that you catch yourself doing that's Create Better Health, if you'll snap a photo and shoot that to Candi, those are really popular posts and people love to see. And that's the whole idea behind Heidi having us be ambassadors, is we're trying to show that we're living the concept. So if you'll, every now and then we have surges where we have tons come in, and those are so fun. So if you'll just make a point over the next couple of weeks to send in some pictures of you in action doing what we teach. And the second thing I wanted to mention is everybody's doing such a great job putting their Facebook numbers in pairs. When I go in and look at the data, it's fabulous. You're doing a great job. One thing that a lot of people are forgetting is to upload the file that you get from Facebook. So if you recall, you go into Insights in Facebook, and then you download a report for the last month, and then you tally up column T, which is the daily total impressions, and then at the bottom you have that number, which is what we put in for your reach. That report, you need to save that to your computer, and then when you're entering the number in pairs, you need to upload that file into pairs. That's just evidence from whence the numbers came. That's essentially the evidence that those numbers are legitimate from Facebook. So if you don't remember how to do that, let me know. The instructions are online, and I'm happy to walk through it with you. And for those of you that are having the light bulb go on and realizing that October through now you haven't been uploading that file, you can actually go in right this week and create a report of October 1 through May 30th, and do one report and just upload that up. The sum total will be the total of all your reach in one number, but that's fine. We just want to have evidence of where those numbers are coming from. And so if anybody have any questions about that, it's sort of a second step that we added this grant year. And a lot of people are including it, but a lot of people are just putting in the number, which I genuinely appreciate. But also we want to have that file just as support for where the numbers are coming from. Does everybody know what I'm talking about when I talk about the Insights file? Okay. If you have any questions, you're invited to email me, and I would be happy to either do it with you. If you want to get the numbers in from the last few months, if you've forgotten to do it, I'm happy to do that with you too. I love Zoom. We can get on together. But otherwise, if you'll start remembering to do that when you generate that report, let's put that report into pairs so you have it there as evidence of where your number came from. And if you have any questions about that, shoot me an email or give me a call, and I'd be happy to help anybody. Okay? And then don't forget the Ambassadors in Action. My flow chart is send us Ambassadors in Action photos, and also put the file in when you do your social media. Okay, thanks.
All right, all I have today is a reminder. So please send me COVID trackers weekly. If you do any work outside your home, we need them filled out. And if you have questions on them, please reach out to me and I can go over any specifics that you have questions on. So.
Is there one for them to use, Amelia? Have you shared that out?
Yeah, it went out.
Oh, okay.
And if anyone needs that, feel free to hit me up. I can always resend it. So, and it'll go out with the scoop again.
I'm just going to hop on real fast and give a quick reminder. Please put your name in the roll in the chat for the roll. And our training next Wednesday will be Dr. Dave on Wednesday at 10 a.m.
Okay, I think we're on to social media. Candi, and then Paola, and then Hiram, then Ashley, then Kate. Okay.
All right, coming up on Create Better Health over the next couple weeks is the top 10 ways to enjoy cantaloupe. And then we'll have a fitness post to round out the end of the month. We've been posting a lot of stuff lately about farmers markets and using fresh produce. So just a reminder that you can send people to the blog for information on that. Just to follow up with what Jocelyn said about Ambassadors in Action photos. If you don't see your photo posted, don't be discouraged. We're just scheduling them out. And so even if you send it to me today, it might be a few weeks before you see it pop up, just because I can't publish everyone's all on the same day. So we just schedule them out throughout the month. Newsletter will go out the first week of July. So make sure you've got everything on your Google Calendar for that.
There have been a few counties that are putting stuff on the Google Calendar, but not at the beginning of the month. And so I'm able to make the going live posts for you during the month, but I'm not able to include that stuff on your newsletter. So if you want your info on your newsletter, you need to make sure it's in there prior to the beginning of the month. And if you're not seeing going live posts for your classes, it's likely your Google Calendar entries aren't correct. So you'll just need to get with Amelia and make sure that you are getting all that info correct. And that's all for me.
Paula, are you on this week?
Yes, I'm here. Okay, so the last week what we did in the post, it was something really similar on the Spanish blog. What we did was encourage, the people to go to the farmers market. And there is in the blog, Encourage Better Health in Spanish, well, but it says it's en español, .org. So there is one post that I did about the importance to buy produce with on the farmers markets. And I did the recipe that it was the winner, I think like a couple years ago, like 2 years ago. So, can you guys hear me? Hello?
Paula, we can hear you. You're muted now. There's just other noise, I think. Okay, but you're muted now.
Okay, because I'm by myself. I don't have kids around. So, okay, what was the last thing that you guys heard then?
Winning recipe at the farmer's market.
Oh, okay. Yes, so I post a recipe that won like a couple years ago. And I'm gonna keep posting like recipes that kind of go along with the farmer's market, like buy fresh produce. And the other thing is normally sometimes I always post every day on Facebook things like really similar than the Spanish and with kids, like Kids Create as well. I just translate everything. And in the post as well, I post something about Hiram did a post, or the Kids Create group, they did a post about like corn, if corn was a vegetable or a grain. So I did something really similar on the blog as well. So I encourage everybody, to go to the page, Create Better Health, in español.org, and share for me, and also the post on Facebook. It's Create Better Health SnapEd. That's the one. No, Create Better Health in Español SnapEd is the Facebook that I have. So that will be very helpful. You guys can share in those two things. I think that's it.
Thank you. The Create Better Health in Espanol is really growing. Doing great. All righty. Hiram, Captain Create.
Yes. I'm super excited to share today. First, on Friday, I finally got the Foraging for Asparagus video up. A huge shout out to Cara for sending that footage. It was one of my favorite videos to make, collaborating with her on that. So anyway, I encourage you all to watch it, like it, share it, all the works. And then if you have some cool skill, talent, ability, or whatever that we can highlight with Captain Create, I would love to collaborate with you as well. So look at it, get an idea of what Cara did and how we could highlight that. And it's kind of fun for me because it's kind of like a Captain Create video ambassador highlight, right? So kind of cool. And then this month, I hope to get at least 2 videos out, and one of them I would like your help with. I would like a video submission, and it could be like 5 seconds, 30 seconds, it doesn't matter. I want to do a plank exercise challenge for the kids. So I wanted to share really quickly my screen, just a portion of a video. that kind of shows different planking. Okay, you can be fully dressed when you do yours, but here is an example of different types of planks that you can do. So like a beginner, basic, any type of plank I will accept. I'm gonna mute it. But it would just be fun to kind of do a challenge video for kids showing these different ways to exercise. I haven't reviewed all of these and some of them might not be that great for your health and stuff. So just do what's safe and comfortable for you. Okay, but if you're interested in sending a file in, a video file, send me an email and I will walk you through how we can get that file over, because transferring video files can be really hard, especially via email or impossible. And then, oh, and the other thing that's great is if you send videos in, Candi, if you need, we can make them photos and we can do like plank photos, ambassador in actions, if you want. But anyway, for the next like year, every ambassador in action photo will be a planking picture. Anyway, and then that's all I have. So please send videos for that and watch the Foraging for Asparagus video.
Okay, my turn. Yay. So Kids Create, I've kind of inadvertently switched to like theme weeks because that was most effective for my budget. And also time, because kids are they're not cooperating right now. Mine just want to go live in our tent in the yard. So we've I don't have as many pictures of the kids doing stuff. And thank you for everyone that sent me recipes. I have the Around the World in 80 plates scheduled through July, and I'm working on that. In perfect world, I would have them done and scheduled and be like a couple weeks ahead, but that's not happening right now. I'm getting there. And there was something else, but now I forgot what it was because I didn't write it down. So yeah, like, share all the stuff on your page. If you have stuff, photos, anything like that that you think would work out, or pictures of even just tiny kid hands making things. I'm hoping to start the Saturday showcase in July, but where the budget's kind of toned down a little bit, I didn't want to spend time doing that if I didn't absolutely have to.
Hey everyone, so for Utah SNAP Works, there will be a reminder in this week's to-do list that Jocelyn sends out for the social media to-do list. And Casey kind of touched on success stories, and I would just love to share any like COVID specific success stories that you guys have had, just trying to still help out our target population, still reach them. So please email me if you have had any. It doesn't have to be anything fancy or big, just anything simple you've done to still try and reach our target population and help them through this unique time. But yep, that's it for me.
Okay, it looks like we're on to county sharing. How about we start with Salt Lake?
Okay, this is Caitlin. I just finished a series of Facebook Live videos. I did 6 classes, and I kind of focused more on the Creates handouts. And those were on our Salt Lake County Extension page. And then Nicole, who is our Spanish speaker, has been doing Spanish classes. This will be her 2nd week of doing those. And she's gotten a lot of response to those as well. So that's mostly what we've been up to.
Great, thanks, Caitlin. Let's see, San Juan, we don't have an active program. San Pete. Gretchen, are you on?
I am. We're just getting ready for the summer program, and I met with Shannon, and we're planning for the 6-week program. We're of course going to see what happens and let it unfold, but we're preparing for the 6-week summer program.
Sounds great. Thanks, Gretchen.
Thank you.
Marianne?
Hi, so it's kind of the same with me. I have been talking to a lot of partners to see how they're doing and if we can work together to promote some videos. I hopefully will start doing videos, hopefully next week, at least with the food, fun, and reading. I can do those, I think, starting next week, and the library is promoting those so that at least will happen. I don't know about the farmers market. I know that Lacey said that was an active farmers market, but every time I talk to the person in charge, she's still not sure she's even going to make it happen. So that's ongoing.
If I could speak to that, Marianne, okay. I think it's a different farmers market. I believe
it's the same one, but a different person.
Oh,
but it's at the same place, and the person who's, well, we can talk privately.
Yeah, that's fine.
But it is the same one. The one you sent me is right. It's just she feels overwhelmed with doing it.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Tuilla, Sarah, are you on? Or Darlene? I don't see them on, so we'll come back to them, but we'll move on to Uinta and Cara.
Thank you. We've had some really great feedback on the Facebook page. People that I didn't really realize were following it have come up to me and said that they love the tip videos, so that's pretty exciting. Before COVID had really hit, I reached out to the principal of the elementary school over here in La Pointe because they have a community garden, and he was able to get approval through the district to do that. So the extension office has been maintaining that, and hopefully this fall I'll be able to do face-to-face and get into the school and use some of the programming, or I'm sorry, the produce for some of the programming there in the school. And the principal, the teachers, everybody's really on board and excited for that. So I'm hopeful. We've also reached out to the food pantry. They seem to have a new director, which happened just within the last week. We had a great relationship with the old one, so we'll create a relationship with this one, but they were very receptive about wanting recipes, and they're doing boxes for their clients right now. So they told us what they had an overabundance of, and we're hoping to get some recipes included in the boxes that they could send out to their clients. So we will continue to work on that relationship, and that's about it.
Great. How about Utah County? And can I just ask someone from our office to take over? Claire's not feeling well again.
Hi, so we've still been doing the Facebook little short videos. We're trying to cut down on the larger videos that we've been doing, and also we've had success with finding Zoom classes, private Zoom classes with different organizations. We've been in Ability First and North Promise, and also Maggie's got a Create Farm Fresh class with the Provo Library. We're also in a church Relief Society group, and then also with Central Hispano. So we've been able to be successful in finding those private classes, and then also still working in community gardens with some produce and delivering those to food pantries, as well as starting to set up the Buy Produce for Your Neighbor program, hopefully starting in like August with one of the farmers markets in Utah County.
Great, thank you. I'm just stepping in while Casey has to step away. It looks like Wasatch County is next. Debbie, you're still muted, so let's.
Unmute. How's that?
Oh, got. Yep, perfect.
finished the NNCP training, I will submit the certificate to Christy. Trying my best to keep up with the trainings that are available, and I missed the one last week from Casey, but I'll make that up. I thought we had staff meeting last Monday, so I contacted my supervisor, and yeah, a whole bunch of other things I can tell you about the sewer that's going on here at the house and a whole bunch of other stuff. But as far as teaching classes and especially video classes, I'm out on that. I'm sorry. Anything else I should say?
No need to apologize.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Anything behind the scenes that anyone needs done, I am more than happy to do. More than happy to cut out or glue or laminate or staple papers or anything like that. I'm more than happy to do any of that kind of stuff.
Gotcha. Thanks, Debbie. And yeah, I hope the sewer stuff works out. And yeah, it's rough.
Yeah. Because I don't think it's mine, and the neighbors think it is, but we don't have any problems, so it's weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, that's just hard times. I've had issues like with that in the past. So good luck.
Boy. Okay. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. All right. And then next is Washington County.
Okay, I don't know that my ambassadors are on. I think one might be on vacation. So we have kept, well, we opted not to do a lot of online stuff. We don't have a good Facebook following yet. We were just building that up when COVID hit. So we have been posting some things. Cheryl tries to post 2 or 3 things a week. And I think mostly they're gearing up for possibilities in the fall. We've had a little bit harder time doing the online stuff here. Even like in 4-H and stuff, we don't get a big response for that. And so we're just trying to find other ways. So not a lot to report this time, but hopefully next time we'll have more to say.
Your weather's been lovely. I've spent some time in Washington County visiting family. Totally random, but Washington County is lovely.
Yeah, well, we've kind of had an explosion of cases here, so I think people are a little wary because we do have a lot of influx of people coming from everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like President's Day weekend every day around here in Washington.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of traffic for sure when I was through.
That's what I was going to say. I think everybody's been visiting here.
Yeah. Like I've been socially distancing and wearing my mask. But next is Wayne County.
Oh, that's me again. Sorry about the Legos. We'll move so you can hear me. I haven't been doing a lot in Wayne County. We're working on getting our community garden dirt in, and we've got a few plants, and that's a partnership with 4-H, and 4-H has a grant. So I'm working on like writing recipes and doing different things we can do from the garden that I can do from home. Wayne County still doesn't have any COVID cases, but we've got like a parade of campers, and I've been baking like crazy at the coffee shop. That's like my 3 in the morning to 8 in the morning shift, so I don't see anybody. It's kind of ideal, except really early in the morning. So the cafe is really busy. I know there's a ton of people here, so I'm hoping that I can avoid COVID, stay home, try and do everything online. We are going to do a couple things like Monday night. We're still trying to figure out a schedule to get people into our community garden to kind of help and earn their share. But we haven't figured out a COVID-friendly way to do that aside from maybe them making appointments. So it's all still in the works, but not a lot going on in Wayne. We're trying to build our face following back up. It kind of had a lull when we were training new NEAs, and then they left us again. So we're getting there.
Right. And Weber.
So I just got hired on, so I'm Haley.
Welcome.
Thanks. So this is one of the first meetings I've been to, but in June, at the end of June, we have a kids cooking class scheduled for like 4 to 6 weeks, I can't remember. But we'll just go through the whole curriculum with them, and we have me and Sierra and then a intern that will be teaching all the classes. So that's what we have coming up, and we're hoping that we can do another session of it after. So it'll end mid-July, and then we're hoping to do another session after that one. But I think that's it.
Great, thank you for sharing, Haley. Well, it looks like that's the end of our sharing for today. Casey, I don't see her on here, so I'll just close this out. Are there any other questions or concerns from you all before we end our meeting?
Lacey, can I just give a shout out to Duchesne County? Duchesne, we're doing your county review right after this meeting, but let's give it a 10-minute break and we'll start at 11. So just come back to this number at 11 o'clock, Duchesne County.
Perfect. And it looks like Heidi's on, so she can.
Yeah. Thanks, Christy, for doing
finish it
that.
up.
And also, I just wanted to let everyone know that you'll be seeing Farmers Feeding Utah and the support USU has for it. So if you could share that out, it will be on, it already is on Hunger Solutions Institute, SNAP EdWorks, Create Better Health pages, USU Extension. They're requesting that counties share it out as well. So as many shares as you can get, the better off will be. And if you feel like the project's Northern Utah and you're not Northern Utah, that's okay, because the projects will continue all throughout the state. This is just the one that's been identified and happening next week. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you later.